Vitamin D, also known as the sunshine vitamin, is so important that you actually make it from the sun. However, studies are showing that about half the population has less than optimal values for this vital nutrient. In this video, I'm going to show you why and how to take vitamin D. And I'm going to give you a dosing protocol that is appropriate for your weight and how to adjust that if you're taking something like a multivitamin that has vitamin D in it. And then I'm also going to tell you about another vitamin that you should always pair with vitamin D. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you how to get a discount from a premier supplement manufacturer on all the supplements that they make, plus vitamin D with free shipping. So let's get started. Why do we need vitamin D? Because it supports healthy bones and teeth and lean muscle mass, and it helps our immune system, and it helps us prevent disease. So I call this the anti-fragile nutrient because you are just more fragile if you don't have optimal levels of this. I mean, just think about it. You need to have strong bones as you age. You need to maintain metabolically active muscle tissue. You need to have a strong immune system, especially these days. And also, you need to have adequate levels to fend off the big killers that we have, from cardiovascular disease to diabetes, autoimmunity, cancer. It's just an all-around nutrient that's actually a steroid hormone that is involved in over 1,000 genetic processes in your body. Your cells have receptors for vitamin D inside of them. Again, we need this. It's so important you make it from the sun. And we're just not getting these levels that we used to because we're not outside like our ancestors used to be. So I include this and make sure that every client that I work with is getting optimized vitamin D levels. So who might be at risk for vitamin D deficiency? Well, if you rarely go outdoors, you're probably at risk. If you're sitting inside an office all day, or you're an athlete that goes to school and then goes to an indoor sport after school and you're indoors all day long, if you're always wearing long clothing, long sleeves and long pants, because you need to expose a lot of your skin to the sun to get an appreciable amount of vitamin D. As well as if you're wearing sunscreen all the time, or you have really dark skin, or if you're just an older person. So now you know why you need vitamin D, and you know if you are potentially at risk for a deficiency of vitamin D. Now we're going to talk about how to take vitamin D. So vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning it dissolves in fat, not water. So like B vitamins, which are water soluble, if you take too many of those, they just flush out of you. But if you take too much vitamin D, it can get stored in your body fat, and then over time that can become toxic, and you don't want that to happen. Now, you have to take quite a bit of vitamin D for a long time in order to get to that level, but nonetheless, when we do things, we do it the right way. So this is the general rule of thumb for vitamin D dosing. For every 25 pounds of body weight, you want 1,000 international units of vitamin D. So again, for every 25 pounds of body weight, you want 1,000 IUs of vitamin D. So what you'll do is you'll just take your weight, divide by 25 times 1,000. That's how much vitamin D you need. So for me, I'm about 170. Now I'll just call it 175. Or usually what I tell my clients is just round down just to be on the safer end. So let's go 150. So call me 150 pounds. I divide that by 25. That's 6. And then 6 times 1,000, I need 6,000 international units of vitamin D. And that's it. That's how you do it. I like to round down to the nearest multiple of 25. So if you're like, 118, just come down to 100. If you're 140, go to 125. Keep the math simple and round down. And then, every year, at least you're getting a blood test one time a year from your doctor. Tell him you want to or her that you want to test your vitamin D levels. And then you want those to be somewhere between 40 and 80 nanograms per deciliter, I think it is, on your blood lab. There's some debate as to what's optimal. I dial mine in at 60, and that's pretty good. And all my anti-aging doctors I work with tend to think that's a great level. You don't want to be below 30. That's not good. That's not optimal at all. So somewhere between 40 and 80 on your blood labs. I like 60, and that's it. Now, if you are taking a multivitamin, you're probably going to have some vitamin D in that multivitamin. Now, how come your multivitamin doesn't give you enough vitamin D? Because it doesn't know how much you weigh, right? So someone might be taking a multivitamin that's a 200-pound rugby player, and that same multivitamin might be taken by a 16-year-old gymnast training 5 days a week, right? They're both, might be using that same multivitamin. So the manufacturers will only put in an amount of vitamin D that is roughly good enough for everybody, and it usually will be 2,000 IU or 2,500 IU. So for me, I like to use the Thorne Multivitamin Elite. It has 2,500 IU in it. So if we remember previously, I need 6,000 international units. So I'm gonna minus 25 because I'm already getting that from my multivitamin, right? So that would be 3,500 IU that I need. And that's it. Now, let me show you the product that makes this the easiest to do all of this with. The supplement that I use to dose my vitamin D is Thorne's Vitamin D with K2. Let's let that, there we go. And it makes it so easy because it's just drops. So it's already in olive oil, so it's in some fat to help it be absorbed. You just put it in my tongue, or you can put it a few drops in some water and drink it. I just put it directly under my tongue. The thing you really want to do, and I mentioned this in the intro, is you always want vitamin K with vitamin D, because vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium. Vitamin K helps deliver that to where it goes, the bones, right? So you don't want just hypercalcification in your body, right? You want the K works synergistically with the vitamin D. So Thorne's already done everything for you. It's in the right proportion for you. So if you need more vitamin D, you get the appropriate amount of vitamin K. Very, very important, overlooked way too much. So how do you use this? Every 2 drops is 1,000 IU. So every 1 drop is 500 IU. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take that number we calculated, your weight divided by 25 times 1,000, minus whatever you're getting in your multivitamin, that final number. Remember mine was 3,500. We're gonna divide that by 500. And that's how many drops I need. So let's do the math. Wow, I can't even believe I can't do this off the top of my head. So 35 divided by 5, 5 times 6, what is that, 7? Is that 7 drops? Yeah, so I need 7 drops every day. I've been taking 6. Now I know I need to do 7. Now let's talk about the discount. In the link below, if you're not already signed up in my Thorne dispensary, there's a link, and this video will guide you through it. It takes about 2 minutes. You'll just sign up for Thorne, which is a premier supplement manufacturer. They are upheld to the highest standards in manufacturing in the world. All of their products are tested 4 times for purity. They're formulated by a team of researchers and doctors. And let me tell you, do not take cheap supplements. Do not go on Amazon and start buying your supplements. That's where everyone offloads their garbage. That's where all the stuff coming in from China is. You don't know what's in that. That's where all the people are using their expired stuff and just push it on Amazon. Get in my Thorne dispensary. You'll get 20% off for life, or as long as they'll let me give that, which they like me, and you get free shipping. So you can so cheaply add this to your regimen. I consider this to be a foundational part. So in the foundational stack, you want a multivitamin, that's your centerpiece. You want extra vitamin D, because that's the nutrient that most of us are deficient in because we're indoors all day long. And then add some omega-3s in the form of fish oil. And then I like to also boost magnesium, because it's the second most deficient nutrient and that we're not getting from our diet. So those 4 things, you put that in there, you're gonna be solid. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this, give it a like. If you would like to get more information from me on health, subscribe to my videos, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.